Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.net for Tuesday, August 10th. Pretty interesting trading session today. We got started off with a couple of economic reports that the market, for some reason, did not like. We had productivity come in with a loss. Actually, that's a good thing. I wish I could show a chart of it now, but there's a chart that shows how productivity from U.S. workers has, over the last several quarters, gotten slower and slower and slower, and we actually saw a drop of almost 1% in the most previous report. What that tells you is companies have pretty much milked everything they can out of their current workforce. And the theory is productivity dropping like this usually is an indication that companies may have to start hiring more employees. Uh, it's just one of those theories. We also had economic data from China, exports booming, but imports slowing. So for some reason, the market did not like that news, even though the export data showed big gains in Europe and shows the Western countries are actually, importing quite healthily right now. Anyway, it was Fed Day today, and all eyes were on that. Market was down about 140 early, slowly worked its way back, and then after the Fed announcement, we got a nice little push to green before we saw some selling again into the close. Fed probably did what a little bit of everything to make everyone happy. We had QE, as you've probably heard it on the business media, quantitative easing. Fed rate is at almost zero, so there's not much they can do there. What they can do is try to pump liquidity into the economy. And what they said is they're going to keep the Fed balance sheet the same size. So as they sell off mortgage-backed securities, which they bought last year, instead of letting that money disappear for all intents and purposes, they're going to reinvest it in treasuries and start buying treasuries. So that's one way they're going to start to pump liquidity into the market. We got a nice pop out of that. Again, as I said, before the sell-off into the close. But, really strange market right now. We could rally, back to 10,900 in a blink, or we could sell off right now. Looking at the 15-minute chart, you can see we are still within that bearish rising wedge. If we flip over to the daily chart, we've got a couple of warning signs right now. We've got RSI topping out. The market's been treading water here over the last couple of weeks. We're about to get a negative ADX cross, and stochastics are still over 80. Could see what we saw back in April, where we just sludge around, for a month in a pretty tight trading range, 20-day exponential and thereabouts. And that would probably go with the theme, where we just, tread water for the rest of August with small rallies, possibly an upside move, depending, if the powers that be decide to do that. And then, set us up for a retrace into the September and October timeframe, which we pretty much see every year. SMH very, very weak today. We had a analyst report come out saying PC demand has just fallen off a cliff, and that hammered the SMH, or the semiconductor stocks. We had the SMH go back down to its 200-day moving average again, and I've actually picked up around 27. You end up getting a nice 30-cent scalp out of that one, but we've lost that little uptrend line, and if we don't see a bounce tomorrow back above 27.50, we're possibly looking at another retest of the 26 and under area on the SMH. And we did have volume pick up today on the SMH. Volume has been really lacking in this market, but we did have volume pick up on the SMH, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Not a whole lot of plays right now. Focus mostly on biotech stocks, at penny biotech stocks. That's where we're getting the most action. And then, in the chat room, we're just looking for steep sell-offs on no news to grab in and get the bounce plays. DSCO, very nice winner for us over the last month. Had its earnings report and sold off, but over the last couple of sessions, some very nice strength on this one. Even when the market was down 100 plus this morning, this stock was holding strong. And we're looking like we could be setting up for stage 2 of this rally, which would take us to the 37-cent area. RSI bouncing off 50. Stochastics, you know what I say, I love seeing stochastics come down below 50 and then run back above it. And ADX remains strong throughout that sell-off. So DSCO could be a very nice mover for us in the near term. Another play, ICG, and we jumped into this one a couple of days ago on the Biotech momentum. Nice little breakout on the horizon here. These guys posted earnings this morning. They've got 15 million in cash, 14 million market cap, so they're trading under their cash value. Pretty low burn. They've got enough cash into next year. No Nasdaq delisting issues until late November, so it's not going to take much to push this stock, and it's been pretty beaten down over the last couple of months. RSI breaking 50, stochastics coming out of the basement, and we also had a positive ADX cross. So ICGN could be one that no matter what the market does over the next few days could give us a very nice return. ILI, this is one we jumped into yesterday, genetic test play, a play on HLCS, which is up 100% over the last month since our call in July. Stock had a couple of nice spikes to the 45-cent area today. If the market was not red, we probably could have seen a breakout on this one, so keep a very close eye. Buying volume has been very nice on this one, and the chart is setting up nicely. Quick mention on fuel cell. There's no other way to cut it. Pretty disappointing action in this one. Every time it's tried to break out, it fails. We had news yesterday. Stock was trading at a $1.45. You'll recall in the Sunday video I said expect to see this stock trade at 138 to 140 plus in the next day. We had that in pre-market and it just sold off, and residual selling continued today. We need to see a bounce on this one tomorrow. And every time we've seen a push down to 125, 126 area, within a day we've seen a spike back to a $1.40. So let's see if we have that happen again. That's it for the video tonight. Not a whole lot of plays. We're just focusing on a couple of stocks here, and we're going to see what the market does for us tomorrow. That's it. See you guys in the chat room. Goodbye.